Hello, my lovelies. It's time for round 38 of Cards Against My TBR. So stay tuned. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. Cards Against My TBR is one of my multiple TBR games that I play in order to help pick my TBR for the upcoming month. The way this works is I shuffle up 26 question cards and 26 answer cards, making a full deck of Cards Against Humanity cards. I shuffle them up, I draw 5 cards, and then I pick books to either answer the questions, or if it's an answer card, a book that answer makes me think of. I have a few different books that I need to try to fit in this month, and I'm going to see if I can try to get those to fit for some of the cards. But before we get into which cards I'm drawing this month, let's go over how I did for last month. So let me get those books. So here are all the books that I was supposed to read for last month's Cards Against My TBR. So for the card, The Fault, Dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in The Making of Us, I did read this. For the card, Flesh-Eating Bacteria, I selected A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. And it just so happened that it did talk about something like this. It talked about necrotizing fasciitis, in which bacteria essentially eat the victim from the inside out. Anyway, I did actually read that. For the card, Blank is a Slippery Slope That Leads to Blank. For the first blank, I selected Charade by Lori Foster. And for the second blank, I selected The Wrong Kind of Weird by James Ramos. And I did not read either of these. So normally I have the option of, well, not normally. What I do in this case is I have the option of either I can put these back and stick this card back in the deck as one that could potentially be redrawn, or I carry this over so that I can read it next month and I don't have to stick the card back in the deck. That is actually what I'm going to do for this particular one, because I do need to get this book read or DNF'd or something, because it is on my self-destruct shelf. For the card, Suddenly Feeling Really Sad for 40 Years, I selected The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hotkin, and I did read this. And for the card, Anne Screamed On Her Mirror Was a Message Scrawled in Blood, I Am Blank. And for this, I selected The Darkest Star by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I don't have a physical copy of that book. I just have an audiobook of it. But that's what I selected, and I did read that. Okay, so before I shuffle the cards and draw my 5, I also want to go over some of the things that I need to read for the upcoming month. So my book buddy of the month, Christina, she gets to pick the buddy read for all of my coffee patrons for July. And she has selected Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. This is a thriller, horror, something like that. I've heard really good things about it. I'm very excited to read this. Also, if you hear a lot of crinkling sounds going on, it's the dogs playing with their new toy. So yeah, I need to try to fit this into something if possible. Also, she got to pick a book off my wish list that I needed to buy. And I actually ended up buying the audiobook version on Audible of this. And it is Love at First Book by Jen McKinley. And it looks like that. Okay, so in addition to those, I also have my Have I Read It, so I can tell you the winners here. So for my Have I Read It number 70, I had to pick the top 2 voted books. The number 1 book for that was The Toll by Neil Shusterman. I figured this because of all of the, right off the bat, there were a lot of votes for The Toll, so I was not surprised that this one came out as the winner. Though the one that came in second place wasn't too far off, and I don't know where that one is. I couldn't easily find it. It's around here somewhere. And that is Supernova by Marissa Meyer. So I'll also be reading that this month. And that one had 19. This one had 23, I believe. That one had 19. And then All Systems Red was super close to being selected because it had 18 votes, but it came in third place. And then for Have I Read at number 71, I only had to pick the number 1 voted book, and for that I have Dry by Neil Shusterman because this got way more votes than anything else. So it's going to be a Neil Shusterman kind of month. I'm excited for that because I love his writing. All right, here are my cards. We're going to shuffle these up and see what we get. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'll stick those up there. Looks like this time we have 4 answer cards and 1 question card, so we'll stick that one in the middle. All right, let me find a good place to set these. Okay, the first answer card is telling Heather she can't pull off that top. Maybe an ugly cover. I think that would be a good fit for this. Because, like, when somebody can't pull off a top, you know, I mean, you could literally not be able to physically pull it off. But I would say, you know, it just doesn't look good on you. So, a book with an ugly cover. I think I'm going to have to think about that one because I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. So, let me go look and see what I've got, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I grabbed a couple of options off of These Books Will Self-Destruct shelf. And let's see, the first one is Wrecked by Maria Payden. This one, it just, to me, there's nothing special about it. And then the other one is Starters by Lisa Price. I just don't really care for this cover at all. The dogs are making so much noise. Let's see. Okay, there's a bonus story in the back here. This one's 335 pages. This one's looks like 353. So we'll go with the smaller one, Starters. And this is like a sci-fi one. A girl lost her parents in the Spore Wars when it wiped out everyone between the ages of 20 and 60. So they're on their own, her and her brother. All right, here's the first book. All right, the next card is Bouncing Up and Down. Okay, this one to me says a book that I'm really excited about. I'm bouncing up and down with excitement. Something I really, really want to read. Ooh, well, actually, I'm really excited about all 3 of these, as well as the one that I just got on Audible. I think I'm going to go with Hidden Pictures. This is one that I've definitely been excited for. I've heard so many good things, and yeah, this is perfect. Okay, for our question card, it says, believe it or not, Jim Carrey can do a dead-on impression of blank. I think I'm going to go with The Toll, because it seems it fits. I don't exactly know what The Toll is. It's not the Thunderhead, but we'll find out, I'm sure, in this book. But I think it would be a thing that he could make an impression of. I don't know. This is also the final book in the Scythe series. There is another book, but it's like short stories, like in between, like a novella, which I also want to read. But this is the final story in the actual overall story. The final book in the overall story. Okay, next answer card. We have Empty Promises and Half Measures. Maybe for this one, I should look at my Goodreads and look at the put them in order of like lowest rated, and then find one that at one point in time got a lot of hype, but is on my lower rated of my books. I think that kind of fits in this. Empty Promises and Half Measures. It was really hyped, but maybe it didn't live quite up to the expectations of it. So let me go see what I can find. I think I found the perfect option for this. So when it was announced that this book was coming out, everybody was super, super excited for it because it's a sequel. And the first book was so good. So good. But then when the sequel came out, pretty much, well, anyway, I heard talk about it, hated it, absolutely hated this book. They thought it was just pointless, and to the point that when I said that I wanted to get it, somebody told me, save your money, they'll send me their copy. So that was Amanda, and she included a little note in here for me. But the book is Ready Player 2. This has a 3.43 on Goodreads, and I am curious to see if I'll, if I'll fall in the middle, if I'll hate it, if I'll love it. So I think this one is perfect for empty promises and half measures. All right, last answer card. We have a CD of haunted house sound effects. Oh, hidden pictures would have been really good for this. So like a spooky read. That's what I think. Okay. Or it could be an audiobook because, it's talking about a CD of sound effects. I don't know. I feel like it should be a spooky book. All right, let me go see what I can find, and I'll be right back. Okay, so for this one, you'll see in my wheel of TBR that I am going to film next, that there was a book that I was supposed to read, and I didn't. And that was Prosperous Demon by K.J. Parker. And it's a little short, but spooky book. So I think this is what I'm going to pick for this one, because that'll be an easy to knock out thing if I actually do it. I mean, it's just like barely 100 pages. So yeah, that's what I'm going to select. Okay, so let's see. I do have 3 things that I need to also pick books for. So let me see if any of these books will fit for that. So for buzzword, the prompt is measurements. Any kind of measurement of whatever. Like it could be a dash or long or tall or day or night. Ooh, 2. So Ready Player 2. That will work for my measurement. So I can use Ready Player 2 for my buzzword. And then for TBR Knockout, the theme is vacation. The first prompt is to read a book set in a different country than you're on. So let me see if any of these count. No, I think they're all either from the US or are in like a fictional place. Okay, so let's see. The second prompt is a book involving a road trip. I bet Ready Player 1 would fit for that. Let me see. I honestly can't tell if any of these will count for involving a road trip. If you happen to know if any of these will, comment down below and let me know. All right, well, these are the 5 books that I have for this round of Cards Against My TBR. Have you read any of them? Did you like them? Did you not? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye.